Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's Tuesday night, and it's time for our weekend recap. Time where we go over all the stuff and the places and the things where we had the opportunity and the privilege to be able to interact with local vendors and artisans and businesses and all that stuff over the course of the past week. Um, I had something else I was going to say there, and yeah, I just completely lost it. Sorry about that. Maybe it'll come back in a little bit. But anyway, hey, let's jump right into it and let's talk about some of the cool things we did and the places we got to go. I don't know if it's really cool or exciting, but I did get an opportunity to go to Glensane Ford here in Paragould this past week. It was time for my oil change. So I took my car up there and got the oil change, got the tires rotated, and all that wonderful stuff. Took care of that this week and got to stop and visit with them for a little while I was there. Um, I'd hoped to be able to visit with Randy for a little bit and see how he was doing, but he was busy talking to somebody else when I got there, so I didn't get a chance to visit with him. I did see Carmack while I was there though, and talked to him for a little while. I swung by the Judd Hill Farmers Market for their midweek market again this past week, and checked out the the vendors that were there in Jonesboro. I picked up some tomatoes, and I think I hang on. I didn't. I'm bad about this. I did not do a good job of recording this. So Whitten Farms. I grabbed some pickles from them, and let me check the other phone. Really bad about this. So I have a phone in each pocket because I have one for me and one for work, and I have this really bad thing where I just tend to just like grab whichever one happens to be closest and take pictures with it to remind myself of stuff. So yeah, so that it kind of works out that way. Um, so yeah, I got some pickles from Whitten Farms. I grabbed some tomatoes from Mootown Produce, and picked up some cucumbers from Quality Gladiolus Gardens. So those are the places that I went at the Judd Hill Farmers Market, and the people I was able to get stuff from while I was there. And swung by the Shadracks. This is a different one. Now I know we always talk about going to Shadracks, but this particular Shadracks, whatever. Um, this particular Shadracks is the one in Jonesboro. I actually went to Shadracks in Jonesboro this past week. Um, I actually did that on the way back from the farmers market. I was kind of in the area, and well, I don't really need much of an excuse to swing by Shadrack, so I swung by there and grabbed something to drink on my way back to work. I got my hair cut this week. Can't you tell? Um, no, seriously, yeah, I did get my hair cut this week or last week by Lee at Sola Salons in Jonesboro. Got my haircut taken care of there. Lee's been cutting my hair for several years now, and he's super accommodating. If I need to do like random scheduling and things like stuff like that, or even the reason I started going to Lee when I found him was because I was looking for somebody that was available in the evenings. I know I'd go get my hair cut after work, so I'd schedule an appointment at like 6 or 6:30 in the evening to get my hair cut, and he was someone that I found that was available in that time frame. And since then, I have a different schedule now, but I've just kept with him, and he's been cutting my hair now for about 10 years. And we also did go to the Shadracks in Paragould. We went there several times this week. Went there, Thursday. We went there on the 4th of July on Independence Day. Went there on Saturday. So yeah, I went there a couple of times this week. So yeah, we visited I visited the Shadracks in Jonesboro, and we also visited the Shadracks here in Paragould, trying to spread the Shadracks love around a little bit, I guess. Um, Thursday night, Independence Day, we were in uh, Jonesboro at the Southside Softball Complex for Freedom Fest, and got to watch that fireworks show. This is actually a clip from the video that I took of the fireworks show. Um, I may see if I can post the whole video. The entire fireworks show there. I'll have to see if I can find a copy of the whole video. The problem is that I don't know if I my my phone did something, or I forgot to push a button or something. Um, but I missed the first 5 minutes or so of the show. I didn't get that recorded. I do have a 17-minute recording of the from wherever I started recording to the end of the show, and this particular shot is about right into is probably somewhere close to the 2 minutes remaining in the show. This was the very beginning when they were starting to spin up and go for the grand finale. This was at the beginning of that grand finale sequence that they were doing. So got to watch the fireworks, and it was a really cool show. Probably the best one that I've seen them put on there at Freedom Fest. They did a really great job. And I say that, and I'm not trying to be biased at all, even though I happen to know the pyrotechnicians that were shooting the show. I do think they did. They put on a great show, and it was really great this year. If you had a chance to see it, you probably already know that. If not, yeah, this is just like I said. This is one of the shots from Freedom Fest in Jonesboro this past week. It's seems like we do that thing all the time where we have to go get those maintenance meds, because apparently getting old sucks. Um, and but hey, I'm thankful that as my body starts deteriorating and it's not acting the way it's supposed to, that there are things that I can do to kind of help it behave itself a little bit better. But yeah, so we went by a drive there, went through a corner drug, and picked up some prescriptions that we had there. And those guys are always great to work with us. And this is something that I think is, they actually have, they can deliver your stuff to you if you're not able to get out of the house. They can actually bring your prescriptions to you. They have that as an availability. But something that they do, and I really appreciate this. Some people might think this creates extra work, but every once in a while, they will come up with we just managed to catch them just right where they don't have enough of a medication in order to fill a prescription. They may only, for example, I might need 60 pills for the next month, and they only happen to have 30 pills in their inventory. And what they'll do is they'll go ahead and give me the 30 pills with a note that they owe me 30 pills. And, so that way I don't have to worry about running out. They take care of that. They know that, here we've got, it's not a full month, but, you've got, 15 days, worth of medication there that's available. And then in the next 2 or 3 days, when they get, their order in, their restock in, then they'll go ahead and fill the second half of that prescription and make that available. And, you get the text message, hey, your script is ready for pickup, and then you go pick up the rest of it. And I really appreciate that, because, I would much rather have, half a script and make sure I don't run out, and then come back and get the rest later, and rather than, running out and being without something for, a couple of days while we're waiting for them to get more pills in so they can actually fill the whole thing. So they take really good care of us, and I appreciate their work. And if you're looking for a pharmacy, consider Corner Drug. Well, we had to stop by and check out. Everybody's been talking about Freddy's reopening and being under new ownership and new management, and so we had to go stop by and check it out and just see how things were. And I have to say, very big compliments to the staff and management at Freddy's. We'd been in there several times previously. This is the first time we went in there under the new management, and I have to say, um, there was a very different feel to the place. Um, there was a lot of movement. There was a lot of there was a lot of work going on, but it didn't seem to be as frantic as it had been previously. Um, it seemed like people were more fluid in their tasks. Like, just seemed like everything was working better. So congratulations uh, to the new owners of Freddy's. It looks like you guys are doing great there, and look forward to having you as part of the community. For many years to come. So I really think that if you haven't been to Freddy's lately, you should go check it out. Go check out the way things are working. I do think it's going to be a much better experience than maybe something that you'd had in the past. Oh, on that note, well, we're going to take a sidetrack here for just a second. Um, because rumors are rumors and rumors. Um, so I was reading one of the random. I don't even think it was a post about Freddy's. I think this was a post about the new Seven Brew that's going in essentially right across the street from Freddy's, and one of the comments on there was, "Yeah, the people that owned Freddy's um, had to sell it." Uh, yes, rumors is our song, but these aren't good rumors like that. These are dumb rumors um, that I'm going to talk about. So that there was a rumor that the people that had opened Freddy's didn't want Freddy's. They wanted the Seven Brew, so they had to sell Freddy's so they could open the Seven Brew. Um, and I just have to say, I know about this much about the franchising business. Um, I've in one of my former jobs, I worked with a lot of franchisees, and so I kind of got a feel for the way that process works. And if the owners of Freddy's had decided on the day that they opened Freddy's that they didn't want Freddy's, they wanted to open Seven Brew, they would have been hard pressed to have that Seven Brew open as soon as it is. There is a very long process that you have to go through. You have to, the there's an interview part of it where you know it's not just you just don't say, hey, I'm going to open up restaurant X, Y, and Z today, and they go okay and start building. The company wants to make sure you're a good fit for them. They want to make sure that you have the financial resources in order to be successful. You're going to have to go through training as an owner to understand how the business works and understand all their processes and things like that. Then you're going to have to find your space. You're going to have to, purchase the land or get the lease for the land. You're going to have to make the arrangements. Find the contractor, all that stuff. So for them to do all that that time period that we're talking about, I'm not going to say it's outside the realm of possibility. I'm just going to say it's going to be very, very tight. But one of the biggest things here to think about is that you have to be able to show you have a specific and significant amount of free cash. You have to show that you have liquidity in order to be able to cover costs. Because none of the franchise owners want to see the franchisees fail because that makes their brand look bad. So they want to make sure that you have enough liquidity that you can cover, the startup costs and, projected revenue needs for 6 months to a year, something like this. So you understand that they had to have this amount of funds set aside for Freddy's. These would not be funds they would have been able to access and be able to tap into when they were trying to get Seven Brew. So they would essentially have had to have the funds to be able to start two franchises at the same time. And I guarantee they would have lost money on the Freddy's one, getting out of it as quick as they did. So, with that being said, I have to say that I firmly believe that the rumor that the people that had Freddy's that just wanted to get out of it so they could open a Seven Brew, I just want to say I think that was crazy. Take it with a grain of salt. And I mean, like I said, that's my opinion. I don't believe that that's the case, but maybe I'm wrong. If somebody has some sort of solid concrete, can show me some sort of valid proof, not just he said, she said, and heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend, heard it from another. You were mess. Oh, sorry, that's a song. But seriously, if we can, if somebody knows something and has some firsthand knowledge and can validate that, that tells me that I'm wrong. I'd love to hear that. Just because I'm not stuck on. I'm not going to. I don't have to be right. I would rather have the correct information. I would rather be corrected and have good information rather than just make up stuff and then refuse to acknowledge truth when it's stuck in my face. Anyway, all right. So enough of that sidetrack. Let's go back. We were talking about we were at Freddy's. We stopped by there and ate. The food was great. The service was great. Best experience I've had at Freddy's. And congratulations to the new owners. Looks like they're doing a great job there. I hope they keep it up and hope to see Freddy's stay in town for a good long while. On Saturday, we were back at the farmers market. That's generally where we seem to end up every Saturday, or just about every Saturday. And so we were up there and we set up. This was a little bit of a different market. It was Saturday, July 6th. It was 2 days after Independence Day. And it was the smallest market that I've seen so far this season. And to be completely honest, I'm not surprised because it was 2 days after the 4th of July. So I know there were a lot of people that were out of town that had plans with family and friends, that they were maybe at the river, they were at the lake, they were out of town for whatever reason. But no, this was a little, well, I want to say a little bit, it was a significantly smaller market. I think there were only 35, 40 vendors that were there for this market. And yes, Steel and Stitches was one of the vendors that was there. But there were several regulars that we're used to seeing that weren't there. But it was a good time. We did, got around to see there was a lot of fresh produce that was there. Speaking of which, Tuesday night is supposed to be the midweek farmers market for Paragould. It's supposed to take place from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening. That was canceled today because of the weather. They were not sure what the weather was going to look like and what that was going to do, so they canceled that because of all the rain in the area. But look for that again next week. The farmers are really starting to bring in a lot of fresh produce, and you're seeing more and more of that every week. So excited about that. I could be a vegetarian for about 3-4 months out of the year. I love fresh fruits and vegetables straight from the garden and the orchard. It's amazing. It's just delicious. So, not to say I don't like a good steak, but I do really, really enjoy and appreciate fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. Grabbed some breakfast from the Mad Mexican. They had their breakfast tacos. We grabbed some of those. We had those the last time they were there. They were delicious. It was a great way to start the day. Had that, as my mom and dad used to say, stick to your ribs. It had a protein, and it had really great flavor to it. And that was a great way to great breakfast to start the day when we knew we were going to be out at the market for the day. H&H Produce was there, and I got to see them, visit with them for a little while, Got some green tomatoes. I have that on my list of things that I'm going to do this week. Is I'm going to make some fried green tomatoes, and I'm going to use those fresh tomatoes from H&H Produce to do that. Got some purple tomatoes from Clover Hill Farms. I don't have a graphic from for Clover Hill Farms, but we did grab some purple tomatoes from them. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm talking about purple tomatoes, here's the thing. So the purple tomatoes are a lower acid tomato, and so if you have a lot of times, if you have like stomach, issues, if you have, struggle with reflux and that kind of stuff, it's things that are very acidic can trigger that and make it worse. And yeah, tomatoes do have a lot of acidity to them. So the purple tomatoes are a lower acidity variety, and they still have a great flavor to them, and they're great to eat. You can put them in foods, or you can just slice them or eat them like an apple, however you want to do it. They're a delicious tomato. They just look a little different. And Larry Cup had he had his produce truck there, and he also had his ice cream trailer there, and I actually think we made two different trips, if I'm remembering right. I think I made one trip and got a root beer float, and then went back a little while later and got some fresh squeezed lemonade from Larry's. So yeah, the more I think about it, that is what happened. So yeah, that was nice, refreshing, things to cool off. Yeah, Elizabeth says, first you got me the rip beer float. It should be root beer float, and then I got her a strawberry water. That's right. I didn't get a float. I got her the root beer float, and then went back and got strawberry water for her and a blueberry lemonade for me. And then yes, voice to text for the lose. Yeah, voice to text is it's entertainment in itself. After the market was over, we swung by Unraveled Yarn Boutique and visited with them for a little while. Talked about the Arkansas Graveler. Austin had just got back from the Arkansas Graveler a couple days ago, and I was asking him about it, and he was kind of telling me about some of their experiences that they had making the trip and climbing all the hills in all that crazy heat that week before, and talking about and then Saturday they also had the gender reveal for the Weber and Unraveled's new baby, for Austin and Petra's new baby that is going to be here in a few months. Had the gender reveal, and they started pulling it out, and so that they had a big skein of yarn that the way it had been wrapped is there was a red and a blue string, and they started pulling that out, and then it turned to white, and then after the white yarn came out, the next color was the gender of the baby. But yeah, so I saw them start pulling that out right away, and I didn't realize at first that's what they were going to do. So I saw red and blue, and I thought, twins? And I don't know if Petra heard me or not. She might have been a little scared if she did. So Elizabeth says it was a white cake of yarn. So yeah, so that was. But yeah, she's also said she's almost home with my Slim Chickens. So yes, Slim Chickens is providing dinner this evening. Well, they made it, so I guess that would be their provision of it. Anyway, but yeah, so got to be there for the reveal, and we picked up a bunch of yarn while we were there, and So good afternoon. Got to see them. It was good to visit with them. I hadn't seen Austin in a while, and it was I enjoyed hearing the story about the Graveler. So that was really cool. And then that evening we went to Lemonade House Grill for lunch, late lunch, early supper kind of thing. After we left Unraveled, and then what was this yesterday? Yeah, it must have been yesterday. Sunday? No, it was Sunday. Yes, the yarn haul that Steel and Stitches got on Saturday was crazy. It's the my half of my couch is covered in yarn still. But I just brought it all in and set it all on the couch, and yeah, it's there's a lot. Um, Sunday evening went to La Torcia Brick Oven. That was it. Yeah, Sunday we went to Brick Oven for dinner. It was a Saturday turned into a really, really, really long day. So the last thing that anybody wanted to do on Sunday was move. Uh, so we went and grabbed dinner from Brick Oven Pizza and let them do the cooking for us on Sunday. And that's it. That's the things and the people and the places that um, we got to see and we got to interact. Here, let's hang on. I'm gonna flip this back over here. We're gonna pull this back up on the stage. Some of the places that we didn't go this past week, but some of the places we've gone in the past are Kiss the Cook. Um, Carlos's, we always loved Carlos's. Didn't make it there this week. Hyde Park Cafe. Um, that's another really good weekend food stop, but we tried something a little different. Waffle and Pancake House is a regular Sunday thing. Saw Gourmet Eats in Jonesboro. Didn't get anything from them, but I did see them. Slayton Chiropractic. You know what? I'm pretty sure that's on my calendar for tomorrow. Or not. Oh, Thursday. All right, that's when I knew I had a chiropractor's visit coming up. Looking forward to that. Bake Me Happy in Home Bakery. Something Sweet was at the farmer's market on Saturday. They had their coffee trailer out there, but I just honestly just wasn't in the mood for coffee. I know that sounds weird and that is very unusual for me, but wasn't quite in the mood for coffee. Um, Gladys's Barbecue, they weren't there. This Lucky Seven took the weekend off. Shots, Blackberry Patch was not there. Clover Hill Farm was there. We talked about that. Larry Cup. Wits End Produce had their corn there. Actually, Wits End Produce had their corn at the Paragould Farmers Market on Saturday, and then actually they were also at the Judd Hill Farmers Market for the midweek market on Tuesday. Downtown Nutrition, Huffman Family Farms, Dandelion Ridge Soapworks, our friends Alhambra Orchard and Apiary, they took the weekend off as well. Didn't see the Gilby girls there. Our daily sourdough bread was at the market this past weekend. Lost Creek Flowers was there also. I'm pretty sure Big Creek Family Farm was there. I didn't, this was one of those weeks I didn't get to wander around much, so I didn't see as much. So, and yes, the long day Saturday turned into Sunday. It really did. It was, Saturday was over 24 hours long. Didn't see Genevieve's, didn't see Downtown Hippie. Red Oak Candy Company took the weekend off as well. So did Pollard's Farms. I didn't see Blossom or Tricky there. Smoky Magnolia Candles was at the farmer market on Saturday. I didn't see Grampy's Gardens there. Or let's see, Barks Body Scrubs was there. And Paint Me a Song, art by Amanda, was there. Another, got two slides in here for Carlos's, but I mean, I really like Carlos's. I didn't go to the Eagles this week. Cedar Rock Blooms. There was another flower place there, but I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, yeah, there were several of the regulars that were not there, but Dwarf on the Rocks was at the farmers market. Lots of good places, and 22 Stone Bloom was at the market. I remember seeing them. Southern Charm Crafts was there. Heirloom Flower Farms. That was the place that was set up over next to the Smith's Vintage Bakery was there. I didn't see the girls from Artsy's Unique Boutique this weekend, and I haven't been to Parktovi's very much either. So, and then Scatter Creek Berries and Produce, unfortunately, they are now closed. So, and anyway, so all right, we're gonna jump out of this, and yeah, it was a busy week. We did a lot of crazy stuff. Got to see a lot of people and do some stuff. Got more stuff planned for this week, and looking forward to being at the farmers market this weekend. So come back and see us on Thursday, and we will give you a rundown of all the things and stuff that's going on in and around the area, things to look forward to this coming weekend. And until then, you guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other's, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.